Yo, man, there's some bitches out there that you gotta avoid like the fucking plague.
Talk to him, man.
If you ever encounter one of these,
Run for the fucking hills.
while you still can,
These are the 5 toxic archetypes of women that you need to avoid. For you, not just for you, but your possible future children's sake. Because that's some shit we don't talk about, but it's a big deal too. Because if you marry an ain't shit bitch, wait, first of all, you shouldn't get married. But if you get with an ain't shit bitch and you have a kid, it's gonna be a kid that probably is gonna be fucked up.
do it for the children, man. Do it for the children.
No, but to be honest, bro, like throughout my dating career, you know, because when you start off young, you start off pure, man. You have hopes. You watch TV, you're like, hey, man, I'm going to just give them a chance. I'm going to let them, you give them the benefit of the doubt until they prove you wrong. And then they prove you wrong again and again and again. But the thing is that they prove you wrong in different types. Like you might meet a chick and she might fit into a certain type or culture. And you think it's all cool, but it's really not. Talk to him, man. What's the first one? What's the first archetype of females that you should avoid?
We're gonna call this one the party girl.
Party bitches. I mean, this is a pretty obvious first choice.
A lot of you might be thinking, a lot of you might think, why would I judge? Don't be judging. Like, everybody likes to have fun when they're young. Everybody does the whole party scene. Everybody does it. Which is true. But at the same time, the culture surrounding, like, the party girl attitude, like, at the end of the day, what is it exactly?
Your attention horn, basically. Well, you're like a crackhead. You're just fiending for an itch. And you're getting the adrenaline boost, you know, from a club. Now, listen, I'm not trying to be fucking Mother Teresa over here. The problem is that you think, that's the thing, is that you think like that. And that's how I start. It's not like I just started off like, fuck all these naked bitches showing me their titties and ass. Like, what? Are you serious? No, that was like the exact opposite reaction. But over time, when, you know, after time, you start seeing that other side of it. You start seeing them when, you know, when the drugs start to have a down effect, when the alcohol starts to wear off, or when they're stumbling in their heels, or you start to see that, you know, a lot of those girls, ultimately, the environment, it does matter to a certain degree. And by certain, I mean to a huge fucking degree. What am I talking about? A huge fucking degree. Yo, half these bitches ain't shit. That's what I'm here to tell you guys. I'm tired of holding back. People need to know.
Get him.
Not every chick is a fucking alcoholic drinking every fucking week. That shit is just a cultural thing that you've been, you know, programmed to think. Especially when you got the whole college funnel and, you know, the dorm and the where are we going this week, guys? Where, you know, as soon as it's Friday.
Let's get fucking shit faced, bro. Blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
like all these basic dorm hoes, college. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't smash. I'm just saying, if you're like 22, trying to wife up a chick who's just in a dorm, and every Friday she's like, where are we going after work, guys? Or where are we going after this? Like, where are we going this weekend?
We call these the litty leeches.
The weekend warrior hoes. It's like, hey guys, where are we going tonight? But they're never, you know, the ones to suggest it. They're just the ones going, you know, hey guys, where are we going tonight?
Waiting to be led. So, what's the suggestion you have for the guys out there that don't know where else to meet girls? Like, man, all I know is how to, like, go to the lounges, go to the clubs, and talk to girls there. Like, I never really...
Yeah, this is the problem with, I'm not here to be negative. This is a problem with a lot of the dating coaching advice on the scene is it's a lot of political correct shit, so people will just play it safe and be like, no, there's chicks like that everywhere. But the reality is, there isn't. There's a lot of chicks out there who have barely ever partied, and it's not like some huge fucking agenda. Like, if you're not that type of dude, you don't have to go down that route. If you know, go down that route. If you are, then feel free to do so. Also, don't brush it off. It's all experience at the end of the day. But wrap it up. That's one thing I will say.
Protect yourself, guys.
But there is something else about, that whole wrapping it up shit that you wouldn't even expect. That's fine. We'll get to that to the next step.
What do we call this one, man?
Oh, step number 2, the shy salute. This is the girl that you meet, and she seems cool. She's very shy. Maybe she's pretty awkward, and maybe she had like just a very sheltered upbringing, and you think everything's cool, and she's not the party type of slut or whatever you want to call it. Promiscuous girl, maybe even worthy of getting serious with. But in reality, the bitch is a bum who stays at home all the time. And a lot of these girls who are shy, they don't really actually have any hobbies. So the only stimulation they have is to try and get random dudes here and there. You're just not really going to hear about it because they're really shy and they're just going to play the shit off. If you want to, there's another word for it too. You call it closet hoes, but it's just shy chicks, man. There's a lot of them. It's just an act, man.
It's a more of like the
How could you tell
hypocrisy
it
that you
apart?
see within these chicks, these what you call shy sluts or whatever. It's like they act all sheepish and innocent, but those be the ones to fuck you over the most. It's
Those be
like
the
they hide
ones, man.
the dagger behind their back. Like that's the worst type, man. I'm telling you. Like,
That's true because ultimately, you know, if a chick is all wild and shit, you can't say you didn't see it coming if she does some thing along that lines. But when it happens the other way around, it can catch you off guard. So
yeah.
how could you tell if a chick is genuinely, you know, a chill chick or just some chick who's boring? But that doesn't necessarily mean she's wifey material.
Just bring her around your friends and see how she acts around your friends, or no, or try to meet her friends and see how she acts around her friends.
Oh, that's a big one, man.
So if you notice like
Dude, if you see girls with their friends, you're always gonna be disappointed because they all follow their friends to a certain fucking degree. That being said, that's a very good point. I would bring up another point I think is a good one is like, what does she do all fucking day? Because a lot of times, those chicks who supplement their time with dudes and they're just shy and quiet, but they don't seem the type, they don't really have nothing to do. Like, you talk to them and they're just boring. Or if a chick is in the house all day and she has nothing to talk about, she has no skills or hobbies, that shit isn't a good thing, man. I'm not saying some chick needs to be out doing a whole bunch of shit, but if she's just there, like, not much, what are you doing? Like, just super simple minded, that's not a good thing, man. You shouldn't be dating a fucking goldfish.
but don't think that if she's educated or whatever you don't think that means you're out of the woods.
That's also
She
true.
can still be shy, but at like they play that shy card and they're still kind of, you know, a little suspect.
Yeah, that's for sure. A lot of dudes, they feel like if she hits a certain XYZ list, like, oh, she went to college for this or that. It's not so much I don't know, it's hard to say. It depends on how good your XYZ list of shit. All bitches with lower back tattoos. That's one.
So the shy slut that changes around her friend and, you know, adapts to what her friends are, that actually leads us into the third toxic bitch, which is the culture cornball.
Oh, this is one of my favorites. I think I hold this one special to my heart. Can I take this one?
Go ahead, man. Go in.
I knew a girl once. Let's call her Becky. Becky seemed like a normal girl at first, but eventually she fell into a certain culture. Let's say she was basically rockerish. So she started dressing rockerish and you know, listening to the songs, listening bands, and you know, all that type of shit. But then over time, she stopped being like that. And then she started dating another dude and she started wearing Jordans. Tell me, what kind of fuckery is this? Now, if you notice with a lot of girls, they'll get into a certain culture and now suddenly that is their whole identity. Now, to be fair to the bitches, a lot of dudes do this as well. But I think it's a big red flag because I don't know about you, but it's like it's kind of corny when you see a chick. It's like, oh, I'm a rocker chick, and then like all her ex-boyfriends look like they came out of a scene factory, a scene emo rocker band fact. Like that shit is so corny. I can't deal with it, man. If you see a girl that's ultimately just super into one culture, whatever it is, that shit has never been healthy for me personally, and I mean that shit for people in general. Because even in high school, a lot of people lean one way, like I'm super rocker, or I'm super hood, or I'm super stoner, and now I'm wearing Bob Marley shirts. Like I never leaned in one hardcore direction. And when chicks do it, it's extra fucking corny because they're just chicks. So that's just automatic.
To me, chicks like that who chameleon their way into different fucking cultures every now and then and just like completely adapt to whatever their new boyfriend is into or whatever their new friends are into. They're like, it seems like they're
Oh yeah,
searching
that's a
for
big
something,
one.
and that's a red flag right there. Like
They're
if she's searching for something, what
for
does that
something
mean?
to fill
There's
because
something
she's
that
a
she
lame.
can't really like define what her character is. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it seems like she's searching for an identity, and if she has no identity, what does that mean?
That makes her Ditto. You ever seen Ditto from Pokemon? Ditto didn't
Just
have a
fucking morphing
spine,
into.
man. He was just a blob. That's what these bitches are. Just moldable blobs of nothing. Spineless creatures. But I shouldn't even insult Ditto by comparing it to these hoes because Ditto was the homie, man. I like Ditto.
But I mean, just that shit is inherently corny. Just
Shouts to my dude Ditto.
it's inherently corny to just.
Hitmon Lee too. That was the homie. Have you ever knew a chick like that?
A culture cornball, a fucking
Of course. I mean, I already
culture
know the
vulture
answer to that,
fucking
but
chick.
I just
Absolutely.
want it for the
I dated this
people.
white
Speak for the
chick when I
people.
was 15, and she was like,
Oh man,
she
I know
pretended
this
to me. Like when she started dating me, she's like out of nowhere, she's like, apparently she was part Puerto Rican. I'm not even Puerto Rican, but she started saying that her auntie was Puerto Rican or some shit, or like somehow that she was Puerto Rican. I'm like, yo, like relate to me or be like
exactly.
what
For
I
those
am.
who
Like
don't
we
know,
could just
Juicy
relate
is
on a
Dominican.
human level. You don't have to
Yeah,
fucking just adapt to me like I don't want you to just fucking steal my personality. Like girls like this, like what she did, like at the end of it, she was like using all my phrases, like basically she was like a little mini me. You know what I mean? And it's
yeah,
just
hell
like,
yeah, bro.
and it just bothered me that like I knew the next guy she was with, she was gonna be a mini him. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like it's kind of like it's inherently corny. Like I was saying earlier, like that shit is just corny to me. So yeah, she wasn't Puerto Rican, and I'm not Puerto Rican either. But she thought that would bring us closer or something.
I kind of pictured a Eminem music video when you were saying that story, like when he's like, "Hey, I wish I was
Yo,
there." When
tell me how this bitch started wearing big hoop earrings and fucking Colombian fucking pants, those little stretchy pants,
Ow.
and fucking started
Fuck.
like gelling her bangs to the side, trying to act like she was Dominican or Puerto Rican or some shit. Like I don't know, it just bugged me, bro. Like I just found that shit corny as fuck. The culture cornballs, stay away from this toxic personality because like the next man and the next man until she finally fucking develops her own character. So why would you sit
Or
there
she
and
just
wait?
ends up a fucking Jamaican, Arabic, Puerto Rican jewel seller from Egypt or
Doesn't
some
even
shit.
matter,
What
man.
the
Like
fuck?
it could be a girl trying to act like a rocker. It could be a girl trying to act like she's fucking Puerto Rican just to impress you. It could be a girl who fucking like you see all of a sudden she's a book nerd.
She just called
Or
us the schizophrenic bitches step.
yeah, absolutely, man. So what are they searching for, huh? That may lead us into the next one.
Let's do it.
What is this bitch searching for? Filling that
Actually, yeah,
hole.
that's perfect. The next one is actually we can just segment right into it. Fourth one is the broken home bitch. Now I don't mean to be a dick, man. We can't control where we were born, but at the same time, you're not responsible to deal with someone else's bullshit. Because let's be honest, as men, we're a little bit more responsible. Not all the time, but if you're aware of it, you can be more responsible, especially when all of our conditioning is happy wife, happy life, just you're just trying to keep the drama down, all that type of shit. When a chick comes from a broken fucking home, that shit means everything. Okay? I think we live in a society where it's too, I don't want to just say it's too PC or too nice because a lot of people say that shit, but it's just, yeah, almost to the point. You're being too fucking PC, so you're just not. Someone's past is it's basically everything you need to know about them. That means everything. Your past made you who you are. So if she suddenly had a horrible past, acts horrible, and then suddenly, she likes you, So she's acting great, especially early on. That shit, it means a lot. It
And
just
then the
means a lot.
claws come out. But this isn't to say, man, we all have our demons. We all have our problems. Like,
I'm not here to be a
it's
fucking
natural.
therapist, people.
I'm not a fucking hater or some shit. But at the same time, you start to notice some patterns. And when somebody doesn't really learn how to properly approach a fucking like relationship with somebody or trust with somebody or like some just type of moral code within them, it's almost like you have to be careful what they're capable of, because you never know. Like there's been a lot of crazy bitches out there who've really like just have very toxic personalities in the way that they try to manipulate guys, and like bitches that fucking try to get pregnant by niggas and trapped. Or it doesn't even have to go that deep. It could just be just how she treats you as a person, or like how her personality is when she's
Yeah.
with you. As if she fights a lot with you, what do you think? Like, she grew up in a house that was all she heard was yelling and arguing and fucking
Exactly.
throwing shit. And those be the girls that be throwing shit. Girls that seen that when they were growing up, their parents throwing shit around. And like a cycle that they keep repeating. So you gotta like pay attention and notice these things. And if you wanna like skip out, skip out. But if you are gonna fuck with this chick and you accept that she has demons and shit, like, y'all niggas gotta work on that shit, bro. Cause if
Look,
not,
man, here's what you do. Here's what you do. You just act like you're really concerned, which is what you should be, because you should naturally be relating with the chick on a real level. So you should just be finding out her history. And I know it seems fucked up to act concerned and, non-judgmental while you sit there judging the shit out of everything she says, but you got to do it, man. It's a necessary evil. When she's sitting there going, my uncle touched me, and then my dad was an alcoholic, and he fucking, and my mom, and all this type of shit, and then you see her having issues, that shit, I'm saying, because
it's
listen,
kind of fucked
this
up.
isn't just some preaching shit, okay? Because when I started really young, when I first started reading into shit and just going out there, it was really young during school type age, okay? So when I went out there, I was going open book. I was non-judgmental, especially because you learning a bunch of shit that's contrary to everything you learn in society. So you're kind of open-minded by default. So when you go out there, you just start to add up, like bitch after chick after chick after chick after chick, and you notice that all of the crazy bitches, they always end up like their past always reflects it. Their family life, it always fucking
Either they got
reflects it.
daddy issues or mommy issues. I've met plenty of girls who had mommy issues that had that. You, man, I'm gonna be honest, man. I date a lot of Dominican girls, and I don't know what it is about Dominican girls, but those bitches be having some type of like crazy relationship with their moms. I don't know. They have some type of rebellious nature with their moms, and it's like always a back and forth, and it's almost like I would get caught up in it, and in the way that they would use me to rebel against their mom. And it just brought me mad problems. Like one time, fucking some girl fucking slept over at my house, and I didn't even know that she didn't have permission. I thought she had permission. And her fucking parents and her sisters and her brothers called the cops on me. They came to my house. The cops
Damn,
came to my
bro.
house. And I was mad young, so I was scared as shit. And it just goes to show you, like, you have to be careful, like, the relationship that they have with their parents, because that shit could affect you in a big ass way. Like, I could have gotten some fucked up
Yeah, especially
situation.
back then, because, we all young. So people dealing with their parents and all that shit. Because we've been pimping for a while, people. So it's like we have so many stories. I had a chick's mom threatened to call the cops on me as well. Because she saw. I don't want to go through this shit. Because you're saying this shit, and I'm laughing because that chick was this light skinned Dominican chick. And her mom was like some super strict lady. And she wanted to call the cops on me because she saw her with a fucking hickey. This dumb bruta over here walks in the house. She got her neck showing. She got a hickey. Now her mom's freaking out, and she's over here threatening to call the police because I'm 16 and the girl's 15. And I'm just there like, okay, and we're both illegal. What the fuck, bitch? Oh, he's sick. Yo, man, I was traumatized.
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna keep it a buck, man. The biggest sluts I ever met, the most sexually promiscuous girls, the wildest chicks, they always like coincidentally like their father was not around, or it was a very rocky relationship. It's just it's consistent, man. I'm sorry, I hate to say it. It's not to say that it's an automatic if that isn't the case, but certain things when they just add up, they just add up, man.
The next step, the next type of toxic personality kind of wraps up all of them into one, and it's a symptom of all of them, which is a type of manipulative nature. The crocodile tears, the guilt tripping, the fucking shaming you hoes.
Causing you drama, saying it was just because they liked you too much. What's a good example of what you mean? What's a good example of crocodile tears? I have a story in mind, but before I even say it, I would like you to go first, man.
Well, I was like really good friends with this chick, and like we was really vibing, and I thought she was fucking funny. She was dope to be around. Like, I'm not gonna shit on this chick. Like, she had a dope personality or whatever, or so I thought. But
Dun dun dun.
turns out,
Yeah.
I was fucking around with this chick, and like for like 3 months, a 3 month stretch of this fucking us fucking around, she had a man the whole time, and I'm like, it didn't hurt me that she had a man the whole time. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't have shame in that shit. But what bothered me was is that she thought that I would actually be the type of person that gave a shit about some shit like that. Like, that she had that light of me. And she automatically started to try to play the victim, and she started crying. Oh no, it's just that, I didn't want to hurt you or whatever. That's why I didn't tell you for this whole time. Like, I didn't want to, I'm like, yo, you should have told me and I would have moved the fuck on. I would have got some other bitch. You think you're the only bitch in the world? I don't give a fuck. So she played the victim role, like, oh no, no. But then once I said that I didn't give a fuck, and that she realized that I really actually didn't give a fuck that she had a boyfriend. She started,
attitude.
yeah, she turned around and she was like, oh no, it wasn't about you, it was about me. Like, I just didn't know how to tell you, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, so now it's about you. So I just saw the manipulative nature of her, of like what she was trying to do. And man, you know what I had to do? I had to cut off, man.
They just be playing the situation on a micro level, so where it's like, yo, are you fucking serious? Like, I could see you maneuvering in front of me,
Flipping up the story, and it's just like, you don't even have to take the guilt trip route. Like, it does. I don't understand. Like, nobody's to blame. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, just be honest from the start. Like, it's just like an inherent dishonesty in that situation. Like,
telling a girl to be honest is like telling the girl to be honest is like, I don't know, man.
telling a clown not to be goofy.
It's like telling a clown not to be goofy, man. It's like telling a clown not to have squeaky shoes when he walks in the room. He's like, this is what the fuck I do. I'm a fucking clown.
And that's what these girls are. Fucking clowns, bro. Goofy ass clowns with crocodile tears running down their cheeks. So, what was your experience with one of these guilt trippers or crocodile tear hoes?
One of my earliest girlfriends when I was a young lad, I was pure, man. I was pure like something pure like. So anyways, so I was young and I dated this girl, and she told me, she would tell me that she cried a lot. And she cried a lot. Okay? She wasn't lying.
She was
But
a crier.
ultimately, yeah, it got to the point where it was like, you're just crying, and it's like, doesn't mean anything to you. It's like, it's
At the
just like
drop
this
of a hat.
button, Yeah, exactly. So you're just crying, and after a while, you just start to realize that crying for a bitch is like the male equivalent of you, like getting angry or acting dominant. It's just the opposite, just like the sun and the moon. So when a chick is just like, that's no different than some nigga being like, and beating the shit out of a chick. Really, I should call the police on you, bitch. You're fucking manipulating me. It's just that I don't have bruises. The bruises on the inside. So I can't call the fucking police, you lucky bitch. But if I could, I would be calling the police every day on hoes. So anyways, that's my story.
Damn, yo. Yeah, man, they cut you deep, man. They cut you deep. So if you see these 5 signs,
Do you hear the pain in my voice? You think I could make this up? This is more real than any infield or any type of shit like this. The pain in my voice.
This is why
Cannot replicate this.
It's the Gin and Juice Real Shit in Relationships podcast, man. Because this is some
Sometimes
real
shit gets
shit.
real, man. We can't hold back because ultimately it's a new age. It's a digital age. If we hold back, shit is just gonna go back to the TV, back to this goofy shit where we all end up fucking simps. You want that shit? I don't want that shit for me or my sons or my son's sons.
So if you see these 5 signs, analyze if you really want to have this girl in your life. If she's really worth all these toxic behaviors, keeping this toxic personality around you, because our time is limited and you need to appreciate that shit. So appreciate the time and who you spend it with. Don't waste your time on toxic hoes, guys.
Yeah, man, that's a fact. Especially when, let's be honest, when you just meet a girl and she's pretty and you're just starting to have success, you just want to see where things ride, and there's nothing wrong with that. But ultimately, you have to be able to relegate these girls to their necessary position in your life. And you can only do that. Honestly, you have to sometimes get burned just to learn what you don't fuck with and what you do fuck with. But you have to be skeptical the whole time. That doesn't mean you should be stressing yourself out, but keep an eye out. A lot of times, we tend to lean towards the opposite of giving girls the benefit of the doubt. When in reality, it's too high of a position. Someone to take seriously in your life, especially if you're going to consider like kids and any type of shit like that, it's too high of a position for you to just ignore shit. So if the bitch is crying, if she's hopping from culture to culture, drinking and partying every weekend,
If she got daddy issues,
she got fucking daddy issues,
she a party girl, partying. My baby parties all the time like Eddie Murphy.
or she's an awkward bum with no hobbies and doesn't do anything but look for you to come over, then she might just be a toxic fucking chick. And that's a wrap, people.
Peace out, yo.